I love StreamYard. Good evening and welcome to the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. I am BA. I'm here with Bo Crouch and Keith Engel. Hope you gentlemen are doing fine this day, which is Wednesday, middle of the week, hump day. Got plenty of sports. Well, we got our kind of like our meh sports day and our meh sports week. But we're gonna get right to like the important stuff like the NBA playoffs. We see that the Spurs have went ahead of the Wolves 3-2, 126-97 last night. And yeah, shocker, yeah. Wemby came out there firing, and I don't mean with elbows.
Well, that's the thing. So, I mean, since we're talking about this, we might as well talk about that, right? Because since it's Wemby and he doesn't have history of it, flagrant 2, nothing else happens. If that is Booker or Draymond, or they'd probably miss at least one game, maybe 2.
Does the lack of no history enough to bypass a 1-game suspension? Because that was as flagrant as I've ever seen. I mean, he loaded up, he looked at the guy, then he hit him.
So
that wasn't flagrant; it was intentional.
That's the thing. And so that's exactly with intent, right? There's intent. So the flagrant 2, no question. But the viciousness of the intent, had it been any of the people that are a little bit of a problem in the league, that's a 1-game suspension at a minimum. So for Wemby to have not had it, it has to be because he doesn't have history of doing it. Yeah. Because if you look at it apples to apples, there's plenty of other guys who get suspended for a game doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't have a horse in the race, so I don't care either way. But but at the same time, there should be consistency.
Yeah, when I watched it in real time, I'd heard about it because I didn't see any games because I think that we were traveling that day. I don't remember, but I didn't see that whole game. I saw quickly in real time, regular speed from the game angle, and I'm like, oh, that's really nothing. But when they show you that shot, kind of facing Wemby from the floor, and he kind of just looks.
Yeah, he looks at him and then he just elbows the crap out of him.
His arm and just,
I mean, even his own teammates behind him, if you looked at that picture frame, they were like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's as flagrant as I've ever seen.
And imagine if Wemby had ever eaten a burger, right? And just had some mass to him.
You can hurt somebody, right? I mean,
Reed would have been unconscious. He would have had no nose bridge. Yeah. But it is what it is, and the NBA overturned the suspension. He didn't overturn it; he just give him one. So
then he had a monster.
And he had a game, and they basically just kind of destroyed the Wolves in that game, almost by 30 points. Of course, the next game is in Minnesota, so we'll see how that works out. Tonight, the Pistons are playing the Cavs in Detroit. And this is the all-important game, number 5. We'll see what happens with this, too. I pretty much this series is going exactly the way I thought it was going to go based on what they did in the regular season. Both teams won at home in their 4 games. So this is basically what the series is going to be like. Fortunately for the Pistons, they're number 1 seed, so they get the last game. So I think the Pistons will win this just based on that because all the home teams are winning. Cleveland sucks on the road. For some reason, they just can't do it on the road. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. What do you guys' thoughts on that?
It's been a good series, and James Harden still. I mean, he scored 24 the other night, but still 11 assists. So a better game for him, but still didn't shoot the ball well. And again, I still think he's got this monkey on his back that he just can't get off there. And if he comes out big tonight and Cleveland should upset the Pistons, then, some of that narrative, I think they got to win the series for it to go away entirely.
That's the thing.
Right. Yeah. I had to catch myself in mid-sentence. I heard myself. But to me, it's an even match series, but Cade Cunningham is going to be the difference here because, again, Donovan Mitchell's a fine player. Cade Cunningham is one of the best players in the league, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And I think he'll be the difference for the Pistons. I thought if they won the other night, they'd wrap it up tonight. And if it didn't, they'd go 7 games. And I think that's what you're going to get, as Brian said. So,
yeah, you go 7 games.
It's been an interesting series. And it doesn't matter, right? When this wraps up, the next series doesn't start until Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Or did they move it up? Do you guys know anything different?
I think it starts Tuesday, yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think they moved it.
Yeah.
I'm torn. So, as a Knicks fan, I'm torn with this layoff, right? It's good to get healthy and get OG healthy and, rest up. But, they were on such a roll. I hate to sit around for a week and not play. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, too.
I mean, there's no way whoever they play next is going to play as bad a defense as the Sixers were playing. Like, no one else is going to allow them to shoot over 50%. It's just not going to happen.
When you give guys, easy layups down the lane all night long, it's easy to shoot 50%.
Well, and you don't chase, rebounds. They let one roll out of bounds. Like it literally dribbled off the side. Embiid's just walking down the court.
Yeah.
I mean,
they look like a team that wanted to join me on the golf course as soon as possible. I'll tell you right now. So
no question.
Well, that kind of segues into the fact that the 76ers fired their GM, Daryl Morey. So he's not the whole problem. I was reading an article about that whole situation, and they didn't feel that it was just him that was the problem. Said, usually it's not just the GM that's the problem in this situation. It's usually the owner too. So and a coach.
As a non-Knick fan, they would rather play Cleveland.
As a Knick fan, I'd rather play Cleveland. So, we've had success with Cleveland in the playoffs and Detroit, quite frankly. But the Detroit, to me, again, while these two teams match up very well, the Knicks have obviously struggled with the Pistons and Cade Cunningham this season. I mean, they've lost by an average of, 20 points, 18 points. So as well as they're playing, I'd certainly rather see Cleveland find a way.
I mean, the defense for the Pistons is nice, and that's something that is a problem for the Knicks. Like, it would be a matchup issue for the Knicks to face the Pistons.
Agreed.
Whereas the Cavs, less so. Plus, you have Harden, and although you were just talking about him getting the monkey off the back, you're betting on the monkey.
No, I'm not betting on the monkey. I'm betting on. I should say I am betting on the monkey. I mean, because again, one game doesn't necessarily change this whole narrative, right? And
well, I'm sure glad James is not on here because don't use the word monkey to explain.
I mean,
but anyway.
that's. Oh, I'm sorry.
That is really taking it a different direction, but
yeah.
It took us 8 minutes today.
Yeah.
Just real quick on the Knicks and Sixers again, it's got to be demoralizing as a home team player to come out and see nothing but blue and orange in your home arena on Sunday. I mean, that's got to be demoralizing right from the start. Not that you got to go out and play a little bit harder than they did, but it's the way they just took over that. That might as well have been a home game for the Knicks.
Yeah, in fact, chatting with Pags about it today, he said that it was at least 60% Knick fans in there. Amazing. And he went on to say that he never leaves a game early, but his team gave up to the point that he was like, if I'm trying harder than my team on the floor, I don't need to be here. And so he ended up leaving in the third quarter because he's just like, what's the point? My team gave up. Basically he left shortly after Embiid decided not to even try for a rebound. He's like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Let me just go home then.
Did you guys get into the future of the 76ers with him at all, Bo? I mean, to me, that you got to blow this up because Embiid is the face of failure now. And he's a great player when he plays.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's the face of this now.
So the way we talked about it sounded like the team could mostly stay because the team actually functioned well when Embiid was hurt. When Maxey was your guy,
and
Embiid was out, the team actually did well. And so at this point, even if they just have to eat a bunch of his contract for this next year, they really need to just get him off the team.
Yeah.
And go a different route.
Yeah. I'm not even saying he's the problem. I'm saying it's his fault. I'm just saying when you're the face of this much pain, you need to change it up.
There is a lot of fault there, because when you watch him when he's there, everything is designed to run through him. So it shifts the chemistry of the team. When he's not there and it's moving freely through Maxey, they've had a lot of success. And so at this point, I don't know that you need to just destroy this team. I think you need to just move on from Embiid, who also shows a lack of heart a lot of times, right? So does he have a ton of talent? No question. Could he be amazing? Absolutely. You know who it feels like we're talking about, because we've seen this movie before, is AD.
Yeah. Not
the leader, has flashes of greatness, lacks effort a lot of times. Yeah, we've seen this movie before.
Fair.
And that goes on to the futures of both LeBron James and Giannis. Do you guys see LeBron sticking with the Lakers, or could he move to another team?
I don't think the Lakers stick with him.
Yeah,
like he's going to be back. He wants his farewell tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But he's probably going to be a Cav or something like that.
I can't get that picture out of my head. I mean, it makes perfect sense with the way his career has progressed, that he will want to go home and finish at home and maybe find a way to bring another championship to Cleveland, which I don't think will happen with this current cast. But
he'll bring a trophy. It'll be the in-season tournament.
What he's already getting.
Then he'll run out of gas, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
I think more of the mystery in this situation is Giannis, where he could go, because obviously he's done in Milwaukee. So it's time for him to move on.
I think that one's up in the air. I mean, that is probably the more interesting question, because he's younger and, probably will, he's going to have an impact wherever he goes, but who's going to give up enough to get him? I mean, they're going to want a king's ransom, and who's going to give that up?
The Lakers.
Oh, they're the Lakers.
The Lakers would absolutely do that. You have Giannis and Luka together.
You're going to trade Reeves, because Reeves has got to go in that trade, right?
Maybe, but I would think they would try and retain him.
Who else are you going to send with any impact? I mean, draft picks are nice, but you're not sure things, obviously. Now, to me, you're going to have to get back a key starter, and they're not trading Luka, that's for sure. And nobody else there fits the bill other than Reeves.
No, like it would be one of those situations where they're like, hey, we'll give you the next 15 years of seconds.
Damn.
Because they do stuff like that.
Right?
The Knicks have
done stuff like that.
Okay, draft day.
No, but they do exactly that. Like I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago. No, they totally are. Yeah. But you package them together and you can move around and whatever. Because I remember it was like 3-4 years ago, somebody traded a player, a first, in like 5 seconds for somebody. I don't remember what the trade was. I just remember hearing the numbers and it sounded dumb. And then it was a real thing. So, but
were the Knicks involved?
They should have been. I don't remember exactly the details of the trade. I just remember that it was like this huge grouping of seconds. And I'm like, who cares? Because when you're talking about the NBA draft, or even in baseball, right? Outside of the first half of the first round, nobody cares.
Yeah, barely that. Exactly.
When you're like, oh, I have a second rounder, it's like, yeah, cool. I got some Post-it notes. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
this is a ridiculous lottery.
Yeah, the lottery's it's dumb.
Yeah, and there's really no standout guy this year like Cooper Flagg last year.
Yeah. And on some just on some sad news we have to pass along. Brandon Clark, forward for the Grizzly, he passed away at 29. Too young, way too young. And the details are still coming out too about how he passed away. So prayers out to his family. That's messed up.
It's
that's
suspected that it was a drug overdose. He had been using Cranton, which is a mental health and pain, alleviator. It does fall in the opioid area. He was arrested a few weeks ago with half a pound of it on him. So
is that the gas station heroin I heard about today? Is that what they call that? I'd heard that.
This is a plant, but
somebody talked about gas station heroin and something that he was involved with. I have no idea what that is or means, but
I don't either. So I don't know.
You're my go-to guy for heroin, so I thought you might know.
I only sell it. I don't know what it is. No.
What the hell?
Oh man. No, that's and I had to even look up what this was this morning because I'd never even heard of it. But apparently it's to alleviate pain in high doses, and but then at the same time, is it like everything else where it's cut with fentanyl?
Yeah,
who knows, right? So we don't know for sure. That's just the reported stuff coming out currently, but nothing's been, substantiated.
He seemed to be a troubled guy, and it's very sad. 29 years old, obviously, very sad.
And the views and the opinions of Keith Ingo are no effect on bullcrap.
Also, say no to drugs.
Right?
Whatever pops in my head just comes out my mouth. I gotta my new filter, man.
Although, if you need any, just hit TGI Sports.
Truck meet truck.
My granddaughter doesn't want $1 bills anymore. She wants 10, so I got to supplement my income someplace.
Hey, now I'm figuring out how you get on all these cruises. It's starting to make sense.
Exactly, Danny. Wow.
All of a sudden, ATF is knocking at your door.
Right. Knocking at all our doors. Man. Thank you very much.
Right.
We're all criminally involved. All right, so we're going to shift this to the NHL playoffs. These Sabres beat the Canadiens 3-2. This series is another one of these series, along with the Golden Knights and the Ducks, it's really getting interesting. I'm not a fan of both teams, but I like both teams because I like the Canadiens because they're a Canadian team. Let's see if they can get up there. And the Sabres, they were a joke for a long time. Now they're finally in the playoffs. It's
for a long time. It's only 30 years or so.
Yeah, only 30 years. Yeah. Give or take.
Have they been in the Stanley Cup Finals, Sabres, ever?
I don't think.
I feel like no. I know they made it to the conference finals with.
I was going to say I think they've just been to the conference.
When Hasek was there, I think they made it to the conference finals, but I don't think they ever been to the Stanley Cup. I don't think.
I can check that out for you. Let's see here.
Good old Google.
Good old Google. Sabres did tie that series 2-2. The Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-2 also last night, and the Golden Knights have a 3-2 lead in that series. That's another good series right there.
Yes. That's an underrated series.
Yes, it is. I said that before. It's underrated, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expect the Ducks to win this with experience, right? Just because the Ducks are such a young team. I figure the Knights will get it done. But the Ducks have made this a real fight. So that's been cool to watch. The Sabres, Canadiens, that's a great series too. I was a little worried when the Canadiens jumped out first. Just because the Sabres haven't been there in a long time. And so that's one of those you might get in your own way a little bit. But they've been fighting through. So that's been awesome.
And I think that's a thing in hockey that's a lot different than many sports in the playoffs. I mean, you can catch a heater in hockey and you can be like the lower seeded or the unexperienced team and just go all the way. I mean, you can play really good hockey for a whole series and just keep going with that. And the Sabres been playing really good all year. They haven't been the best team, obviously. That would be the Avalanche, who are playing tonight. They're going to see if they can get the gentleman's sweep on the Wild here. Although it hasn't been a difficult gentleman's sweep for Colorado. I thought it was going to be a little bit. I thought Colorado was going to sweep this whole series, but said, not quite, buddy.
They really only had that one bad game. Otherwise, Colorado's been doing work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, game 1, 9-6. You put up 9 goals, that's ridiculous, right? And then the next one was 5-2. I mean, outside of the one game that they lost, they've been putting up points.
Yeah, Jerry owns the entire Canadian portion of the NHL for 44 years.
Yeah. On the another note in the NHL, the Maple Leafs fire head coach Craig Berube. I think that's a real surprise because they were doing, they played really well under him. They didn't get nowhere, but they played really well under him.
I mean, they didn't really have a point. They didn't really have a good year this year.
Well, this year they had a bad year.
Yeah, this year, it was, yeah, they did have
Jack brought up, we were talking, I don't know if it ever made it to the air. We were talking off air about, teams that have had long droughts. We don't have the Red Sox anymore. We don't have the Cubs anymore. The Maple Leafs might be the major sports team with the longest.
67 since 67.
Yeah, it might. I mean, there's probably somebody else, but 67 is a long time.
67 is a long time.
I can't math very good. That's going to be 70. Well,
you got the Lions. They haven't won a championship since 57. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no modern era ones there. So, I mean, yeah.
That's a good one.
So, yeah. As much as I hate to say that, but anyway. The NFL has released some of the schedule, which I'm not going to get into that, but I am going to get into the international series that they have released all of the international games. Yep. We have the Steelers and the Saints going to Paris, France. 49ers and the Rams going to Australia. The Ravens and the Cowboys going to Brazil. We have the Colts and the Commanders going to England, as well as the Eagles and the Jaguars, and the Texans and the Jaguars. Jacksonville calls England home now. Cheerio. Bengals and Falcons in Spain, Patriots and the Lions in Germany, Vikings and the 49ers in Mexico.
Roger Goodell is this close to getting exactly what he wants. It's just one game every single week for 18 weeks if we get to 18 games. In a foreign country. That's what he wants. I don't get it myself. I mean, I get it. I get it, but
you don't get it. I get it,
I'm with you on that. Get it.
So I understand he's a money-making guy, but at the same time,
you get it, but you hate it.
The fans in those cities get cheated out of a home game, and I don't like it. I get the novelty of a couple of games a year. That's fine. We don't need to be playing. What you just must have listed 10 games. I don't know how many.
It's 9.
9. All right. Mm-hmm. That's too many. And he said he wants one game a week.
Yeah.
At some point. And he's halfway there.
Yeah. It's, see, I thought there was going to be, as we get closer to that, I figure it's going to be a lot more like the way the Jags are set up in this one, where it is back to back. Right. So you're spending 2 weeks there and then, which would make a lot of sense. Then you give up one home game, one away game. The league's going to go to 18 games. So you're still going to get your standard 16 amount at home. And so domestically by home is what I mean.
Yeah.
So I fully expect it to go that route. When it comes to ratings and merch sales and growth of the league and all of that, the international series makes all the sense in the world. So if you keep what it used to be, the big question there is, what does that look like for your season ticket holders? Because, I mean, you have a home game that is nowhere close to home.
I have no idea if they make them buy that game or not. They can't make them buy that game, I would think. But you buy those tickets before the season.
Yeah, if you got season ticket, you get those tickets beforehand.
Yeah. So
exactly.
I have no. You're probably getting a credit for it. Hopefully.
Like, hey, you're gonna be sending me over there to watch them because I paid home ticket prices now, so you can send me over there. So go ahead, cough up the bill, cough it up. That's never gonna happen. The Bears and the Lions do play on Thanksgiving, by the way, so. that's already been put out there. What's Danny got to say?
Yeah, so I get it, Danny. Bring the hate. That's fine. No, so that is where I like the way the Jags have it, where they're there for 2 weeks, right? I don't like how the Niners have it. I think they did the Niners a very real disservice here. The only qualifying factor this is it's Mexico City, which time zone wise is the same as Texas. And so in that scenario, yeah, you have some travel, but from Cali to Mexico City, it's about the same as flying to the East Coast. So it's actually not as bad as you think. It's about a 5.5 hour flight. So that is no different than them going to play the Patriots or something like that. So when it comes to that type of situation, it's not a horrible thing. The only downside is that's technically a home game for them, I believe. And so, yeah, being on the road for a home game is terrible. So I fully agree with you there.
100%.
But yeah, I don't like it. And they're in the division. If you're going to do it, I would rather you take that travel, spend 2 weeks there and come back. Maybe you come back to your bye week, something to that effect. And I'm saying this as a Seahawk fan who is generally the most traveled team every single year because we're in the Northwest, which is by absolutely nothing.
Well, I think the thing that bothers me the most about it, you got teams that are going overseas twice at least. A couple of teams are going over there twice. The 49ers are one of them. Jaguars are another, even though the Jaguars technically their home is in London. But you still have that. You know,
their owner owns the stadium. So,
yeah,
they get some pretty nice accommodations when they go. And San Fran, this isn't an overseas game. This is Mexico. So it's
true.
It's same time zone. You don't have all that jet lag that you have.
Well, they play in Australia too. That's what I'm saying. They also play in Australia. So it's like, it's not the Mexico thing. I understand anything in the Northern hemisphere is fine with me. North-South hemisphere is fine with me. But going overseas, I still can't buy all that. I'm not even thinking about the people, the ticket holders. I mean, I'm thinking about them too, but also the players, man. That's got to drain the players. You may not think that, but that's
your body clock. It takes forever to recover your body clock in those situations.
Yeah.
And I know they get buys after that and whatnot, but the whole thing is just overinflated.
The good thing for the Melbourne game, right down in Australia, is it's to kick the season off, and it actually goes before the official. Or no, I guess that's not true. The official kickoff is actually now going to be on Wednesday, right? So, so it ends up being a Thursday game, right? So, I mean, they basically get a small bye for week 2 anyway. So, I mean, at least they did it in the right way. They give you as much time going into it as you might want to play that game. And then you have an extended week coming back, which is good because it only takes 20 hours to get there. No big deal.
Yeah, and so also the Green Bay Packers will be taking on the Rams on the Thanksgiving Eve game, which is on Wednesday. So we're just about hitting every day of the week for the NFL here. So
I hate Wednesday games.
Oversaturation is not a good thing. I'm sorry.
You hate Wednesday games? What the hell is a Wednesday?
So what are you doing? You're playing Sunday. You're going to play Sunday and Wednesday. I mean, I don't know when if they play or they don't. Maybe they got a bye.
Off a bye.
They'd have a bye going into it. Yeah.
They have a bye going into it.
And we just get, do we have to play 7 days a week? I mean, I don't know how we do these.
Tuesdays are off limits.
Yeah. If you're Goodell, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well,
Fridays were off limits every day.
Fridays were off limits for decades because of high school football in large part of this country. So, and now that's starting to go away. I guarantee you that will fade away at some point. So I want to watch football all the time too. I really do. But I don't need it 7 days a week. So there's something to leaving people wanting more, right? And looking forward to, I can't wait till Sunday or Saturday or Friday or Tuesday whatever day we're talking about, but it's too much. Come on. Play the games here and go play them on Sundays. Monday night.
And Erwin, I'm with you there. Like, I don't like that you have to go to all these different streaming services to be able to get all your games.
Netflix if you got more games too, right? So
yep, Netflix is getting some more. And of course, even on the normal,
that Wednesday game, right?
Yeah, exactly. And on the normal broadcast, some of them are split up into those broadcast stations streaming services. So NBC, some of the games that they're hosting are now on Peacock. Right. And, so if you were to try and catch every single game, last year is going to be $1,500. It sounds like it'll be about $100 more this year. The only beneficial thing to being on Peacock is you can say live on the cock and you're, it's a TV station. Hey, we had to get
It's on the cock. There you go. That's all you got to say.
Hey,
make sure you send me your letters about heroin and not
not cock. Heroin's acceptable, but all right. I know you do, man.
I didn't even see what Danny said about me. What did he say now?
Was Vrabel taken to Germany?
That's actually pretty funny, actually.
That's great.
Okay, from smiles to sadness again.
Just
all right.
Over here.
Yeah, we're just buzzkilling here. So in the NFL, we lost two players. Charlie Young, tight end for the Niners, back in the Super Bowl days. He died at 75. Craig Morton, quarterback for Dallas and Denver. He passed away at 83. I remember watching Craig Morton, man, for both Dallas and Denver in my young football life. And I used to like the Broncos, so.
Yeah. I'm more mobile right now at 66 than Craig Morton was at any point in his career. I'm sure. Just saying. But he had some good moments in the NFL. That 77 season, I think he was the NFL MVP, if I'm not mistaken, before they got destroyed. I think he had technically the worst Super Bowl of any quarterback, because I think he had a rating of, well, maybe Tony Eason had a worse game, but Craig Morton, I know, had a 0 passer rating against the Cowboys that day. So
that's pretty amazing, because you have to try to get that. Because if you just throw it in the dirt the whole day, it's like a 37 something.
Yeah. Well, he threw like 3 interceptions and only completed 5 passes, and so something like that. Not a good day, but a fine. He was a fine player. And Charlie Young, people, he was a great tight end with Philadelphia.
Yes, he was.
Years before the Niners, and a really good player at USC too. And before tight ends were really the weapons that they are today, obviously. And I think he was one of the, he was catching a lot of passes in Philadelphia, not quite as many with the Niners, but he was one of the trailblazers at that position when guys weren't catching a lot of passes.
Yeah, I feel that people just see him being notable on a team that's won a Super Bowl. That's the thing. And he you're right. He played better with Philadelphia than he did with San Francisco. So but he was still a great football player, as well as Craig Morton. And again, prayers to their families.
He was
2 great athletes there.
And I saw Rick put up there, Craig Morton did play a couple seasons with the Giants. They gave him a draft pick to get him, by the way. It turned out to be Randy White, if I'm not mistaken. Not a great trade, no disrespect to Craig Morton and his memory, but, trading a pick to get you Randy White, probably not a great move for the Giants.
So just a couple of Major League Baseball things here. Keith, what's going on with your Yankees, man? Now your pitcher has problems with his elbow. What's going on?
Yeah, if Max Fried's hurt, this is bad news, right? Yankees have pretty much they've stopped hitting here this last week. They've lost 5 out of 6, I believe it is. Caballero's on the DL now, and Max Fried's elbow's hurt. This Volpe's back, and I think he played today. I'm not sure what he did. I haven't seen the box score, but it's just not, this is the kind, look at, this team wasn't the best team in baseball when they were tied for the best team record in baseball. They've been they played well, but they've hiding a lot of flaws. And, he's still sending Grisham out there every day with his 170 batting average and leading off, no less. I'll say he, because I really don't want to say his name tonight. But it's just hopefully it's one of those bumps in the road. But if Max Fried's hurt, Cole's not back for another month, probably, maybe a little longer even. Yeah. They've got a lot of pitching. A lot of pitchers have stepped up in the starting rotation, not so much in the bullpen. Hill gives up a home run to lose the game the other night when Weathers had just given up a hit he didn't even know he had no hitter in the 7th inning. I don't think I did either because he walked a bunch of guys. You kind of lose track. I wasn't listening to the game. I only had it on.
Yeah, you kind of don't think about it as a no-hitter when there's base runners.
Yeah.
Right? You're not paying attention to it anymore.
Yeah, he said after the game he didn't even realize he had no hitter going. So, but again, he pitched. That's probably his best game as a Yankee, and Hill gives it all up in one pitch. So, it's all for naught. And again, score some runs. They're not scoring any runs at all right now. And Tampa Bay has played great baseball, and it's overtaking the Yankees in that division. So,
well, yeah, they're 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah,
so, I mean, they've been out there doing work. So.
I mean, the Yankees come up for winning 17 out of 20, I think, and then now they're lost 5 out of 6, and not to great teams either. At least not right this minute. Although the Orioles, maybe they'll get kickstarted here with this.
Right, with a 7-0 loss. Yeah,
and absolutely not, Joe. It has been really enjoyable to watch Houston get absolutely smacked.
Don't say that because Liz is one of our viewers. She's also a Houston Astros fan, so she's not liking that either.
Hey, go M's! The thing that's funny is it doesn't even matter. So the Mariners are on the roller coaster. It's like we're rolling into Six Flags. There's a million roller coasters to go ride, and we ride the same one every time, even though we know the payoff isn't very good. So we are terrible in April, and then we'll start to figure it out in May. And by the middle to end of May and June, we'll play some really good baseball. We might even mess around and take the division lead. And then we'll head into the All-Star break. We'll forget how to play baseball altogether. We'll go on a ridiculous slide, and then we'll go on a heater to miss the playoffs by 1 to 5 games. And we do this consistently. So you look at last year.
It sounds like the same thing he said last year, and then they went into the playoffs.
Well, you know what was different last year? We actually did something at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
something we never do.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Players, yeah.
We never do that. Right.
And then you hit the nail on the head too, Bo. You said that my man wasn't going to be playing as good as he was before.
Oh yeah. Cal, there was no way. There was no way he was going to do that again. And I got so much hate from within my fan base because they're like, "Oh, you're just a hater," and all of this. Like, it was a record-setting year. Like, people don't generally do that anyway. I said he would be like a 35 to 40 home run guy. I don't even know if he gets there. He's batting like a 157 and has 7 home runs on the year.
Yeah. Not good.
He did take a shower with his clothes on, though. So, I mean, that might help him out a little bit. Broke him out of that slump.
And on Liz's Astros, listen, I've been a big defender of the Astros. And I've said every year when they've gotten off to bad starts that the Rangers and Mariners would not pull away, that, they're going to regret that the second half of this year. The Astros will be lucky not to lose 100 games. That team's not very good.
Especially because not only are they not playing well, but they also have guys that are hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to have a tall task. That being said, the whole AL West is terrible. So they probably still have a chance. I mean, the A's lead the division. They're the only one in the division with a winning record.
With a minus run differential.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't rule the Astros out just because our division isn't good.
I think a couple of days ago, the American League had like 2 teams over 500. The whole American League had 2 teams over 500. Now there's 4, I think.
Yeah, it was the A's and
Yankees. A's, Yankees, and Rays were the only ones, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
the
the Indians have gone on a streak. And
yeah, the Guardians are up there now. Let's see. I was going to say the White Sox, but and the Athletics is up there. Tigers are in last place. I don't even have to go anywhere with that one because right now I just don't give a F about the Tigers. They're just doing all kinds of dumb stuff to themselves to lose games that they can win. I'm not getting this whole situation, but whatever. But they got a lot of their pitchers are hurt too. So Skubal should be back sooner than they said he should be back sooner than the 3 months they calculate him to be out. He should be back in about 2 months.
We will be getting a doctor say that, not his agent.
Yeah, right. And then Verlander is coming back soon as well. And then Mize will be coming back. He'll be off the 15-day IL any minute now. So they're going to get back some of their lineup. And of course, they still got Valdez. I want to hit people, Valdez, So whatever. Anyway, beating that dead horse.
Danny, you're supposed to keep the tar on the bat.
You got to pay for shipping. That's all I'm telling you. I can't eat the shipping costs.
Man.
So, Bo, I see you got something lined up for us here.
Yeah. So since we're talking about Major League Baseball and the ABS is widely used this year, right? We have umpires deciding to ignore your ABS challenge. So this one, he ignores it from both teams and then tosses a coach. So this is the clip.
Here's the 3-1 to Ward. And that'll miss. It will be a walk. Taylor Ward does that quite often, but it looks like they were trying to challenge. Well,
obviously, he's happy.
Frustrated dugout because the ABS challenge was trying to get in.
2. Messiah will challenge. Did he get credit where he tried to challenge? Torres is now disallowed a challenge for both catchers.
I don't understand what Torres is doing. I mean, it's right in front of him.
I think both teams have a right to be aggrieved. It seemed like both times the challenge was, if not instant, was very close to immediate.
I mean, it's within a second.
I think Carlos.
And the thing that's funny is if he would have granted both of those, he was right in both of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't even have to do what he did, but he ignores them, then tosses a coach like crazy.
That's the first ejection attributed to ABS, if I'm not mistaken, right? So,
yeah.
Again,
go ABS.
The whole process.
I don't mind ABS, and I like how quick it is getting the response down. But I mean, if you're going to have stuff like this, I mean,
disruptive to the flow of the game. If you're going to use this artificial intelligence to call balls and strikes, and just do away with the umpire calling strikes at all. I could live with that more than this challenge system because it does disrupt the game. I'm sorry, it does.
And if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna go the way you're saying, just full on AI, then you need a 3D batter's box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the way that it is right now, if you have a ball that's trailing, that otherwise would be, but if it doesn't hit their 2-dimensional plane on a 3-dimensional bag, it's a ball. And so I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, Danny's about to tell me again how exciting it is. This whole, watching this little cartoon play on the scoreboard. Can't wait till games bottom of the ninth in Game 7 of the World Series and watch the cartoon to see who wins the game.
Well, that's because Danny's
really
drinking enough at the game that he thinks it's a 3D image. Like,
we love you, Danny. That's how Danny gets away with getting at me.
Erwin, I'm not saying that the umps are having power trips, but let me tell you something. When you're adding ABS to this whole situation, it's taking the human element out. And I think that the umpires feel abashed at the fact that if they don't get a call right, and a batter or a catcher thinks that there's a way to challenge that play, it's kind of like undermining their authority. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about how the umpire is seeing this whole situation.
So the thing is if you aren't getting them wrong, then they run out of challenges. It's not like you have infinite challenges. You only get more of them if you're right. So you need to call the game better. I mean,
well, if they did that, we wouldn't need this in the first place.
Exactly.
So,
and that's also why I say the 3-dimensional thing is needed, because there's things that are being called balls that are strikes because it's just not. It's not including the whole base. And so some of these are looking bad on umpires that actually made a good call.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. From the wild world of baseball to the WNBA. Bo, you are a guy in that. What can you tell us about what's going on in WNBA right now? I see Seattle. What's Seattle's record right now? I just took it.
It's 1-1. 1-1. I mean, the season just off. So they are in Toronto. They are going to see the first game of the tempo today. Now I just got off the press conference, and then that game tips off as soon as this is done. But one of the things for the Storm specifically, since we're starting there, is
I was laughing at Daniel's next
young team. Oh no, I know, and I'm gonna touch on that. It's such a young team that they come out of the gate really firing. Their first quarters have been really good. Second quarter, they've had a lot of drop off, and of course, a lot of fouls. And so I asked that question in the press conference before this, like, what's the message? And like, it's a small sample size. We'll have to see if that progresses. Like if it's still a thing in a few games, then, obviously you got to address it. But with only 2 games in, you can't really do a whole lot, small enough sample size. And then of course to Irwin's thing there, Angel Reese, fastest WNBA player to hit 50 double-doubles. And naturally, they, anytime you bring up Angel Reese, the hater crew rolls in. That being said, if you got rid of all of your offensive rebounds, she would have still done that. So you can hate her on her all you want. She is a great defender and a really good rebounder.
And she lets you know it too. She's not afraid to tell you how good she is. So
she's leading the league in rebounds right now per game, although it's only been 2 games. But that's besides the point. The Dreamer 2-0 as well.
You can back it up, then it's fine to got to stop her. That's all.
Attendance is actually really good, Rick. Across the league, it's really good, with the exception of the Connecticut Sun. Their attendance has not been great. Mostly because they are moving the team out of Connecticut this year. And that's exactly it. I believe the Oakland A's saw very similar treatment when they were leaving Oakland. Yeah. So that is part of it. And I get the frustration by the Connecticut fan base, because although they're going to Houston had a storied franchise. They won 4 championships in a row, all of that. The issue that I had with moving it is there was a better offer to go to Boston there to the tune of about $50 million, which is no small number. And there was also an offer that was supposed to be very similar to that one to stay in Connecticut. So the fact that they forced their way to Houston, I get why their fan base isn't showing up. Outside of that, yeah, people show up.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Hey, you know what? She does lead the league in me bounds. You're not wrong there. That being said, even without that, I mean, I look at it this way. At least she's fighting to get the rebound. How many people miss a shot and don't make any effort? So I will still take someone that's willing to go do that.
I mean, you could probably call her what? Is she a pretty good defensive player?
She's a great defensive player.
Well, she's the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA then, because she grabs rebounds and plays defense. There you go.
That is her role. That's why it didn't work in Chicago, is they wanted her to be a shooting guard, basically. And that's not what she is. So, here with the Dream, she gets to do exactly what she does, is she plays great defense and rules the glass. And then she gets enough points. She gets like 10, 12, 14 points.
I'm assuming that was in Connecticut. He had those free tickets.
Yeah.
Portland's going to be a fun team to watch. They got a young team. Obviously, it's an expansion team also. They're going to be a lot of fun. Realistically, if you're looking at this season, the only teams that really brought everybody back was the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces. One of those teams probably wins your championship this year.
I think I'd go with the Aces on that one. The Dream could be a surprise. They keep playing, how many games does the NBA have? WNBA have during for a regular season?
So it keeps expanding each year. I believe they have 45 this year.
45.
I'd have to look, but it's been increasing by a couple of games each year. So I believe it's 45.
Everyone's on a roll there.
Oh,
jeez.
I think he's a little old for that level of athleticism.
Dennis Rodman, even when he had dress on, he was ugly. And Angel Reese is not an ugly woman, let me tell you. So, she is a Barbie, that's for certain.
They did not have.
I'm looking
first game. Yeah. That's true.
I'm looking forward to next year too, with the Sun moving to Houston, as well as the Detroit. I don't know if Detroit's going to rename their team the Shock or what they're going to do, because I don't know if they retain rights to that name, but it would be nice.
It sounds like everywhere that had a team owns those rights. Everywhere. Okay. Yeah. So if when they come back, it very well would be that, unless whoever buys it wants a different name.
Who's moving there? Is that an expansion team? Who's going to Detroit?
Expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an expansion there, and then there's
Philly, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's Philly. I'd have to look. I don't remember exactly where all of them are, but it ends up as an 18-team league by 2029.
I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I know. Like I said, I know Houston and Detroit will be next year. I don't know who's up following year. I thought Philadelphia was.
Well, but Houston isn't an expansion, so the league isn't getting bigger. It's just a move. So, but as far as like actual growth of the league, it ends up getting to 18 teams.
I hope I'm wrong, but it just feels like they're going too fast. But with the salaries and that expansion, and
so the thing is I would agree with you if they didn't have the TV contract they just signed, which is $2.2 billion worth. So that's an influx of $200 million a year. And then the skyrocketing valuations of these teams. So Golden State just became the first WNBA team with a valuation of $1 billion. So the league is doing fine. And even before that TV contract came through, the league finally posted a profit on its own with no TV contract. So this TV contract is gravy.
Cool.
Yeah, so Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly are all getting teams.
Irwin, they don't. See, this is how I know you're not watching. Also means you're not paying attention to my show, even though you come in and troll it.
Subsidizing what?
Well, they used to, because it's partially
owned by the NBA. They won't need it if that's
Yeah, they spend 18 teams and they start making that moolah. Yeah, and they got the TV contracts too. So
they have to pay that money back, Bo, that the NBA supported them for the last 2 decades, or no?
No. I mean, think about the NBA. It didn't turn a profit until it was almost 40 years old.
Well, I get it.
So, I mean, none of these leagues did. That's why I laugh when people are so down on the WNBA. They're like, oh, they didn't make a profit. And it's like, okay, so you don't know sports history. That's fine. But to look back at all the other leagues, they didn't make money for a long time. None of these leagues came in and just made money.
Just in, by the way, before everything, but the kickoff game for the NFL season is going to be both Seattle Seahawks against Keith Ingles' New England Patriots. That is going to be the first kickoff game.
Rumor is Will Campbell will show up to that game, but we're not sure yet. So
yeah, I don't know why everybody thought which part is wrong, Erwin. I don't know why everybody didn't think it was going to be like that. Like, people kept talking about, oh, it's going to be the Bears. It's like, why would it be the Bears? Why wouldn't you just do the rematch? Like, that makes the most sense. So
I think that's what it should be every year. I think your kickoff game should be the Super Bowl teams that played the last season, unless they're not playing in the same division. I mean,
assuming they're scheduled for that season, right? But
I feel like you could adjust that schedule a little bit, right? Yeah. Because you always have that one random team. So you play the two divisions, and then there's that, couple of fill-in teams. So I feel like if you win the Super Bowl, one of your fill-in teams is last year's Super Bowl, right?
So we start 1-0 or 0-1, sorry, and the Mike Vrabel story continues till at least week 2.
Yes.
Another thing I want to mention too, I think it's really cool. Detroit goes to Buffalo week 2 to open a new Highmark Stadium for Buffalo. I think that's really cool. I just want to. I don't care about the team. I mean, I care about the teams playing, but in the sense that they're going to open a new stadium, that's awesome to me. You get to see it.
Listen, as somebody who paid and helped subsidize that stadium, I'm going to invite you in free, Brian. So go on. Just tell them you know me.
Right. So, since we've gotten past the drug thing today, we will end on a very professional note.
I gave it up for the show. Go figure. That's ironic.
Yeah, we did talk
about
that.
We talked about that. We talked about that, Erwin. You just came in late, buddy. But anyway, we are done talking about any sports at the moment right now. The Unprofessional Professional Show will be back at you next Wednesday at 8:00. Again, catch Keith Ingle. He'll be on next with the college hoopla that he's got going on there in that show. Check that out. Check it out. Everybody have a very good evening.